Hey everyone, hope you're all doing well, or at least as well as you can do at the moment. I am up and down. I've had my fair share of mood swings in recent times. It is all over the place. I actually came across an Instagram video yesterday that accurately depicts what's going on in my head. But I'm going to share my coping mechanisms and what's making me feel more happy than I am sad. I think that's the aim with this. Like, you can't avoid mood swings, and it's inevitable that you're going to feel down at times. But getting that scale, happiness up here and sadness down here somewhere, that's what we're going for. I've got time to do things that I wanted to do for ages, and that's what I'm going to try and focus on. I'm going to try and keep that optimism going. So I found personally that there's 3 things that's been helping me feel more happy than sad. So the first thing is to have a solid routine. So I've been getting up at 8 every day and reading, doing a little bit of Spanish on Duolingo. I'm sure you've heard of that, it's very good. And then I go downstairs and I hug my doggies and I make some coffee and breakfast. And then I've got the whole day ahead of me to do whatever I want. I hate getting up late. It makes me feel so miserable. So because I know that, I have stuck to this. I actually watched a YouTube video with these doctors who know a lot about sleep. I don't know what their role would be called, but they were basically going through myths and facts. The best way to get into a routine is actually to wake up at the same time every day, rather than going to bed at the same time every day. My body learns when 8 o'clock is, no matter when I go to sleep. I went to sleep at like midnight one night and then 1:30 the next night, but my body learns when 8 o'clock is, which is crazy. Number 2 is to stay active. So obviously not everyone has gym equipment at home and it's very expensive, so you could go for a run, you could go for a walk, bike ride. I have a friend who does bike rides pretty much every day, and I have a friend who's been jogging. But I'm so used to going to the gym and using the dumbbells and the barbells and stuff and the machines. It's kind of a strange adjustment. I've been doing push-ups though, and I'm getting better at those. And if this didn't happen, I wouldn't be doing push-ups. So that's a positive thing. Yoga for me is something that I'll do every day. It's just a nice relaxing way to stay active. It definitely helps my mind. I love you! It'd be good if she couldn't hear me. So the third thing is to keep busy. I've been doing a bunch of stuff that I wanted to do for a really long time, and I've always had that excuse that I don't have the time, and now we don't have that excuse anymore. If you are at home, you can take advantage of this time and do something useful. Just keeping busy and distracted, and hopefully achieving something in the process. I think it's just so important to always seek the best out of any situation. There's always going to be something that you can get out of it. So I thought I'd share what I've been up to. So before I go into the rest of the stuff, I wanted to give an honourable mention to my friend Flapjack. I think that you should make some flapjacks. There's only 4 ingredients, barely any prep time, they're very tasty, and you can keep them for 4 weeks. 4 weeks! If you can manage that, because I'm pretty sure they'll all go before then.
My story, raised in a small town
as I mentioned before, I've been learning a bit of Spanish. As I said, I've been using the Duolingo app. That's very helpful. It isn't progressing at the rate that I want it to, so I've ordered this big whopping book, Complete Spanish Grammar. Complete Guide to Spanish Grammar, presented in 26 units, more than 2,500 lively exercise questions and answers. Ooh, lively. This is a big book. Inteligente. Ledo foto. Yo quiero un gato. I want a cat. Obviously it's got activities in it, and that I feel like doing is how I learn. So like listening and reading isn't as effective as me doing exercises. So hopefully that book will help me become more fluent in all this nice and lovely Spanish stuff. And my other goal with Spanish is to learn Whenever Wherever by Shakira. I already know the first part of the chorus and I tend to sing it on drunken nights out, but it would be hella impressive if I knew the whole song. So that's what I'm gonna try and do. I messed up all the cards. What am I meant to be saying? Next is guitar. This is something that I've picked up and tried too many times. I think this is the third time of me actually learning the chords over again, which is insane. I've started learning Nothing Else Matters by Metallica, which is a great song. Do a little demo. That's nasty. Well, it's something like that anyway. So I'm getting quicker at switching between chords. I've just learnt B yesterday, the easy version of B. That is some finger yoga right there. It is a challenge. So the fingerstyle thing has taken quite a while. I'm a slow learner. I'm yet to learn how to read tabs. I've never been able to read music, so I feel like that's going to be a learning curve. But I don't want to start with those things just yet. It's going to discourage me because it's going to be too difficult and I might not persevere with it. So I'm just doing what I'm comfortable with at the moment. I feel like that's a good way to do it. Next is illustration. That's something that people probably, like who know me, probably think I'd be good at. Because I've always been good at art, but that does not mean that I can draw off my head. I can copy things, I can copy like objects and photographs and things like that. I can't draw out of my head, I can't make up characters. So I did start watching an illustration course on Skillshare. The first thing he was on about was figure drawing and going with the motion of a figure rather than anatomy. So I went on these websites and it flashes up like an image for 30 seconds and you have to quickly sketch it down and then it'll flash up a new one, and it really gets you into that practice of like loosening up your hand and doing the quick sketches. So that was really good. I also really want to draw fairies, and I know that sounds really childish, but I love fairies. Does anybody remember Felicity Wishes? Oh, I got rid of my books and I wish I didn't. Also, Barbie Fairytopia. I got rid of that also. Wish I didn't. I love fairies and I wish I still had everything. So after that I'm going to make my own characters and creatures and stuff. That sounds very exciting. I'm going to use felt tips and watercolour, move on to maybe some digital drawings. Ooh. And then I could do animation. So as I mentioned before, I'm doing some yoga, some lots of yoga. My goals with yoga are to do the downward dog and the splits and the forearm stand. The downward dog has taken me forever. My mum can do it and she's been doing yoga the same amount of time as me, I think my legs are just like super stiff. I'm so far from doing the splits, but I'm going to keep up with it, and I'm going to keep doing daily yoga and see where it gets me. I have been noticing a bit of progress, and I just gotta persevere. The more that you do something, I guess you just get better at it anyway, so we'll see how we do with that. With the forearm stand, I've been doing a little bit of research into like the steps building up to that, and they say do the dolphin, which is like the downward dog but on your forearms, and it's a lot of pressure. I'm so used to doing the downward dog. I don't know why it hurts so much more. I guess you're getting more of your weight because you're lower down, you're lower on the upper body, so your hip weight is like all on your forearms. Skateboarding is something that I wanted to do for the longest time. I can do wakeboarding with the 2 wheels, and I can do snowboarding, and I've started to do some jump snowboarding as well before all this went out. So I'm kind of thinking that it might not be that hard to start skateboarding because I've got quite good balance, but I have been warned that I will probably fall over quite a lot and it'll absolutely kill because it's on concrete. I'm just prepping myself for that, but I'm so excited to start learning. Rubik's Cube is something that I'm going to learn, I promise. This is... oh no, if it was any wider that would have been in the whole video. That's for my nose because we don't have tissues. I'm actually following a tutorial because I have a lot of patience for people, but I don't have patience for inanimate objects, and there's no way that I'd be able to crack this without getting too frustrated and smashing it off a wall. So I'm just following a tutorial. We'll just leave it like that. Number 7 is painting. Wait, did we do 7? That doesn't feel like 7. Anyway, painting. 1 second. Oh yeah. This is what I should be working on while I've got the time. My first oil painting. I've got absolutely no technique. I just slap the paint on. It's just a massive long list of stuff that I want to do, and I can't do everything all at once. Something else that's helped me feel smiles. Rainbows. I know that sounds very random. I've got little rainbow makers in my window, which is the sweetest thing ever. They were bought for photography purposes. But I've just put them on like ribbon and string and just put them in my window. Every morning when I open the blinds and it's sunny, I'm sat there reading my book and there's rainbows all over me, and it's just a really happy time. So that's everything as of yet. Oh wait, no, I've been playing Animal Crossing just like everybody right now. I'm still wearing my little Santa hat. Oh, I fell over. I didn't know you could do that. You can't just be productive all the time, like, come on. Yesterday I watched Spirited Away and My Neighbour Totoro and Monty Python. I'm gonna do some uni work at some point. No, actually yesterday I was editing my short film. So I have been doing some. That's my first fully talky video done. How exciting. I hope I did well. So I hope you enjoyed this video and got some ideas maybe. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day, and I hope to film another video very, very soon. If you have suggestions, please leave them in the comments, and subscribe, like, and enjoy your quarantine. I'm sure all the bloopers from everyone's YouTube videos like I need to get my voice projected. So it's very conflicted. That's why my mind's just sending me through the washing machine with emotions. The washing machine. What the bloody hell's that?